Hello. A lot of big miming going on in the studio. I am going to share that with you, but you know that. You know what I'm up to. You know the shenanigans that go on in here. So many love stories. Hi, Trevor here in North Wales. Hello, Trevor. Met my wife, Serpa, from Finland, hope I said that right, in the women's toilets at Malia Camping in Crete, where I was working. One of my jobs was to mop the female shower blocks, and she was on holiday. She asked where she could plug in her hairdryer. That old line. Still married, 2 children, and 39 years later. Congratulations, Anita. My wife and I met at work. I proposed to her after a week, and we've been married for 46 years. We both knew we were right for each other, but we had to wait a couple of months before we could tell our parents. Did anyone elope? Are there any eloping stories out there? 88291. And that's from Martin Patterson in Weston-super-Mare. Anita, someone's been in touch. Yes, I still remember my childhood phone number. Can't remember our landline number. At home, though, was hardly ever used. Only my mum used to call us on it. So true. It's only mums who use a landline. Keep your love stories coming in. 88291. Coming up after 6 o'clock, we will have your first and your last. And of course, as you know, at 6:30, it is the half wow wow wower. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker, and on 88 to 91 FM.
With the BBC News at 6 o'clock, this is Jason Kay. Police have revealed that 2 guns were used in the shooting that killed 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell in Liverpool. They've also released CCTV pictures of the gunman fleeing the scene 10 days ago. Michaela Howard reports.
The footage shows a man in a black padded jacket and black balaclava running along a road close to where Olivia lived in the Dovecote area of the city. He's then seen turning onto another road before heading into the darkness. Police say they know he also climbed through people's gardens to avoid being detected. Detective Chief Superintendent Mark Hamim, who's leading the investigation, warned those shielding the culprit that they would do everything legitimately possible to bring them to justice. 2 men arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder are out on bail.
Leading journalists, broadcasters and entertainers are among those paying tribute to the former BBC Breakfast host Bill Turnbull, who's died at the age of 66. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2017. Breakfast sports presenter Mike Bushell said that he remembers fondly when Bill Turnbull started on the programme more than 20 years ago.
It was like, wow, Bill Turnbull's doing breakfast, because we knew him as a really serious correspondent, but when he joined and started working with him, I did the odd breakfast shift, and I realised how funny he was, how he could change the mood brilliantly between the hard news and the lighter stuff, and he was so funny. And then we developed this banter, and he was instrumental in then getting me more regularly on the BBC Breakfast show. He became a mentor, so I owe him so much.
The head of the United Nations nuclear watchdog has left the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia power plant in Ukraine, where nearby fighting in recent weeks has raised fears of a serious accident. Rafael Grossi said that he'd seen all he needed to after an initial inspection of the complex. Some of Mr. Grossi's team of monitors are going to be staying on at the facility. Boris Johnson has announced £700 million of government investment for the proposed Sizewell C nuclear power plant in Suffolk. It's part of a plan to improve the UK's energy security amid fears that Russia's invasion of Ukraine could disrupt gas supplies. But the Labour MP Darren Jones, who chairs the Commons Business and Energy Committee, thinks the UK is less likely to have to ration energy than other countries.
The way that Russia's restricted gas to Germany through Nord Stream 1, for example, is not a similar problem to us. We import our gas from Norway and excess electricity from French nuclear power stations, as well as our own production, and that's a much more stable supply of energy. So we may not need rationing in the same way that others do. We certainly wouldn't need it in the same way as Germany might need to use it.
The RMT union has announced a further 2 days of national rail strikes this month. Workers from Network Rail and 14 train operators will walk out on the 15th and 17th as part of a dispute over pay and conditions. The Met Office says England has had its joint hottest summer on record alongside 2018. Provisional figures show the average daily temperature was 17.1 Celsius. And the weather tonight, it'll be largely dry in the north and the far east. Scattered showers will move into southern and central areas later. And that's the BBC News at 6:03.
Thanks, Jason.
Anita Rani.